How has the market this summer been different than last summer?
I actually feel like it's been for me personally, I think it's been kind of the same. So last year we kind of saw it like kind of exhale.
Right.
We always talk about this every year. We have a really fast spring market and then it kind of exhales. I think the difference is typically August is a little slower, and I feel like this year has been pretty like cop in.
Yep.
I mean, like all of our listings, it felt like we were kind of like trying to like get people, like pull people into the showings and get them to submit offers on our listings in July. And typically July is faster than August. I feel like this year it's been hitting it pretty quickly.
I think I'd agree with you. I think the first half of summer was very much as we predicted, right?
Yep.
We said that the weather would get good and people would get distracted. No surprise in that. We saw the engagement go down. Now, because we've had such limited inventory this year, we were still putting certain things on and certain things were definitely popping. But as I said, there were certain things that maybe would have gotten 5 to 8 offers 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Maybe they were getting 1 to 3.
Yep.
So the intensity was definitely gone. But I think where I'm going to say I was a little surprised, and it sounds like you had the same experience, these last few weeks that we get towards the end of summer, right? When people are really trying to hold on to the best parts of our awesome city during this time of year, usually people are very distracted from real estate.
Yeah.
And I felt the same thing that you did, that our pulses were up, our showings started to go up,
Yeah.
people's intensity started to go up, which was a little contradictory, not only with the time of year, but also with some of the things that interest rates were doing. So a good, pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing will be is how does that then roll into our fall market?
Yeah, we were kind of talking about that last week.
Yeah,
but
I do think that our fall market's going to start faster.
yeah.
And it may be a little bit quicker. So
It seems like in previous years, buyers have given up after the spring market because that's like, it's been hard. They re-signed their lease. And I think this year is the first year that I've had the conversations with them of don't give up. I mean, the inventory is the issue. And so that's been like the root cause of why they haven't done it. So if you re-sign your lease and then you wait another year, you're putting yourself in that same position. And I think people are finally savvy about it this year versus previous years that just keep at it and you'll finally get the property, especially in this like a little bit less competitive time frame.
Well, you and I talk a lot about it, and it's one of those things that, right, we have a few more months left in this year.
Yeah.
And the reality is we have a lot of clients that target this time. In our opinion, there's going to be more opportunities perhaps for our buyers that didn't exist earlier in the year.
Yeah.
That's not to say that we're going to be flooded with inventory by any means, but we do see that the level of competitiveness falls back.
Yep.
The interest rates are definitely scaring some people off. And so there's some opportunities in that for certain.
So going back to your question, what do you think is going to happen with this fall market? Like, because it's been so busy this August.
So I think this fall market, in my opinion, is going to start quickly. Like we always expect, it starts, it sometimes takes a little bit, but I think it's going to start quickly. I think that it may be a little bit shorter or feel shorter just because of the quick start. Now, in my opinion, the wild card, I always say fall is our wild card market in terms of what happens. I think that what could change the dynamic of the fall market comes down to interest rates. If we see the interest rates improve as we get later in the year, I think that could kick our market up and we could see an extra spike in it for certain. I think if we don't see that between now and the end of the year, we'll have a very quick market, and then it could feel a little sluggish towards the end. But as you and I always say, we sell homes 12 months a year.
Yeah.
I'm always negotiating in December. It's not as glamorous to be out and about doing it, but we certainly are.
Yeah.
So,
well, and thinking, like speaking to like just even the interest rates. So in Dallas, we like, you hear a lot of the economists like come and they talk about the market. And I thought the most interesting thing was predicting interest rates was like one of the big things. And we were talking about how Jay Powell like has no idea what the hell is going on himself. So like, how the hell are we supposed to know, right? So I thought it was an actual very like interesting
no, for certain
phrase that they put it.
Yeah. No, I mean, and we always joke and say, right, we follow economists. We follow people that know a whole lot more than
way more than we do.
Right. And there's obviously a lot of cross information. The good news is I think most economists on a bigger perspective, right? Within the next 18 to 24 months, there's a lot of positive outlook.
I think there's
but the short term
is the one that we have no idea.
No. Buckle up, people. It's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah.